Hello friends, this is our fourth lecture on chapter electromagnetic induction. In last lecture, we discussed about a self-induction or self-inductance. What is self-induction? Production of induced EMF in a coil or circuit due to changes in current in the same coil. Means current changes in the coil and because of it, a EMF is induced in the same coil. Thereafter, we are looking forward another topic. It is the mutual inductance. Mutual means about two coils are there. Then how we can define it? What is mutual induction first? The production of induced EMF in the coil or closed circuit due to changes in current in the neighboring coil is called mutual induction. Means suppose we have two coils, then in one current it changes, in one coil current it changes, and because of this current changes, another coil EMF is induced. Then it is called as a mutual induction. Then how it happens? Let us consider in the figure two coils are there, say coil 1 and coil 2. Coil 1 is connected to a rheostat, key and battery in series, and coil T2 is connected to a sensitive galvanometer. Okay, thereafter when key is closed, same things are there as in the self induction. Then what happens? Current in the coil goes on increasing initially, and after certain time it becomes steady. Then look the portion. When current in the coil goes on increasing, what happens there then? Magnetic field of the coil 1 goes on increasing. And as magnetic field of the coil goes on increasing, the coil 2 situated near it, so it comes in the increasing magnetic field of coil 1. Means a magnetic flux associated with coil 2 goes on changing. And as magnetic flux changes, we know that according to Faraday's law, EMF is induced. And as EMF is induced, it sends a current through the circuit and galvanometer shows a momentarily deflection. Okay, but as soon as current comes to steady state, after certain time it comes to steady state. And as current comes to steady state, then coil 1 is in fixed magnetic coil 1 surrounded by fixed magnetic field because of steady current. So coil 2 is situated in the fixed magnetic field of coil 1. So no EMF is generated in it, and it not sends any current through the galvanometer, and galvanometer shows a null deflection. But suppose during the breaking of the circuit, means what happens? A key is open. As soon as key is open, what happens there then? Current in the coil goes on decreasing, just like as current decreases. And as current decreases up to certain time, this time, as current decreases, then what happens? Magnetic field of the coil 1 goes on decreasing. And as magnetic field of the coil 1 goes on decreasing, then what happens? Again, this coil 1 surrounded by the decreasing magnetic field because of current decreases. That means coil 2 is situated in the decreasing magnetic field of coil 1. Again, EMF is induced in the secondary coil, but this EMF induced in the secondary coil is in opposite direction. Then again galvanometer shows a deflection, but in this way deflection is in opposite direction. Momentarily deflection is there. Then such a phenomena is called as a mutual induction. Means current changes in first coil. Because of this current, magnetic flux linked with the secondary coil changes, and EMF is generated in the secondary coil. Means here coil 1 is called as the primary coil and coil 2 is called as the secondary coil. Okay. Thereafter we go through expression term. Consider a case of the two coils placed side by side as shown in figure. Suppose a fixed current I1 is flowing through coil 1. Then say I1 current is there, flow through coil 1, and due to I1, not fixed current, it is the increasing current should be there. Then due to I1, magnetic field B1 produce around it. Then what happens? Phi21, the flux link with the surface S2. Actually, it is not S1, it is S2. Surface S2 of the coil 2, and due to magnetic field B1. Means suppose we considered I1 current is flowing through the coil 1, and as I1 current is flowing, means it is the increasing current should be there. Then magnetic field produced by it is said to be B1. Then magnetic flux link with the coil 2 is Phi21, means flux link with the surface S2 of the coil 2 due to magnetic field B1. B1 is the magnetic field produced by the coil 1. Okay. Then magnetic flux Phi21 means flux link with the surface of coil 2 due to field of 1 is equal to integration of B1 dot dA, vector B1 dot vector dA. Now, then we know that a flux link with secondary is directly proportional to current in the primary. Thereafter, or you can take equal to sign, then here equal to sign instead of L, here we take in self induction we use L, here we use M. So M21 I1, where M21 is the constant of proportionality, term as mutual inductance or coefficient of mutual induction of coil 2 with respect to 1. Okay. Thereafter, suppose I1 changes slowly with time when magnetic field B1 also changes in the vicinity of 2. Thus, the magnetic flux Phi21 will changes with I1. The induced EMF in the coil is written as induced EMF in secondary with respect to 1 is equal to minus d phi21 upon dt, or you can take d phi21 equal to M21 I1 and M2 I1 constant minus M21 di1 by dt. These expressions are similar as a self induction. Here in self induction coil is same, but here two coils are there. That's why we take the different notations. Thereafter we go through another thing. Now I2 current flows through the secondary. Note that reverse thing happens here again. I2 current is flowing. The flux link with the Phi12 is the flux link with coil 1 given as Phi12 is directly proportional to I2. Look in this equation, for we use primary and secondary. Thereafter we go through current. As soon as current flows through the secondary, how much current is there? I2 current. The magnetic flux Phi12 link with the coil 1 given as Phi12 is directly proportional to I2. Only same things are there, only notations are changed. Or Phi12 equal to M12 into I2, means flux link with the first coil due to current in the second coil. Okay. Then M12 is the mutual inductance of coil 1 with respect to coil 2. And I2 is the current through the secondary coil. The induced EMF in one will E12 equal to minus d phi12 upon dt or minus M12 di2 by dt. By symmetry, mutual inductance of first coil with respect to 2 or mutual inductance of second coil, both are equal, so you can take directly M. Then we made the definitions. The mutual inductance of two circuits or coils, you can say circuits or coils, is equal to magnetic flux link with one circuit per unit current in the other circuit. Same definitions are there as given in the mutual induction. Flux per unit current. But here flux changes in one, current produced in other. Okay, this is the thing. That means here that mutual inductance equal to flux linked with one circuit per unit current in the other circuit. The mutual inductance M of the two circuit in the magnetic flux phi2 link with the circuit per unit current in the primary circuit. Means here magnetic flux link with the secondary circuit per unit current in the primary circuit. Instead of one circuit and other circuit, we use primary circuit, primary coil for primary circuit and secondary circuit. Okay. Thereafter, M equal to phi s upon IP or phi s equal to MIP. The mutual inductance is defined as the value of induced EMF produced in the secondary as per unit rate of change of current in the primary coil. Means according to from Faraday's law, you know that ES equal to minus d phi s upon dt equal to minus M IP upon dt or minus M dip upon dt equal to M equal to ES upon dip upon dt. Look here, from this we can make the definition. How we can make it? That means mutual inductance is defined as, or mutual inductance of the coil is defined as the value of induced EMF produced in secondary circuit or secondary coil, whatever we can say, per unit rate of change of current in the primary circuit. Okay, same definitions are there as self-inductance, but instead of same coil we consider here other coil we consider. Okay, thereafter we are looking forward another topic. Then unit of mutual inductance. Say M equal to ES upon dip. Then again same ES is in volt per ampere per second. So 1 Henry equals to 1 volt per 1 ampere per second. Mean the mutual inductance of the two circuits is 1 Henry. If the induced EMF produced in the circuit is 1 volt, due to current changes in the primary circuit at the rate of 1 ampere per second, means induced EMF produced in the secondary circuit. Actually secondary circuit should be there, but in your book directly taken, in the secondary circuit is 1 volt due to current changes in the primary circuit at the rate of 1 ampere per second. Okay, thereafter coefficient of coupling between two circuits. It is a measure of portion of the flux that reaches the coil 2. That means here coil 1 and coil 2 are not exactly facing to each other. Means all the flux produced by primary coil is not exactly linked with the secondary coil, because all the face of the secondary coil is not covered by the flux produced by primary coil. So only the face, mean not all flux. So it measure portion of the flux that reaches the coil 2 is in magnetic field of coil 1. Only front view which is looking forward, they is exactly similar. We are looking the person, we are not looking whole person as, means its back is not able to see. Exactly same thing is when, and just like as in the light also, when we insert a light on the anything, we only see front view, not a back view. Similarly, magnetic field is incident on the coil. That means primary incident a flux on the secondary, or magnetic field is incident only face of the secondary, which is not all flux is linked with the secondary. Some portion is linked. Then how much portion is linked? It is measured in terms of coefficient of coupling of the two circuits. That means here it is a measure of the portion of the flux that reach the coil 2 is in the magnetic field of coil 1. How much flux is linked with the coil 2? Okay, it is measured, and this is called as a coefficient of coupling. Greater the value of K, greater will be the M. Inductance of any circuit is proportional to the induced EMF. We know that it can be developed. It is also true that mutual inductance M is directly proportional to E21. So you can take here where E21 is induced EMF in coil 2 due to portion of flux of coil 1 reaching coil 2. So we have E21 equal to K phi 1. Not all flux is linked. So we can take here K phi 1. But induced EMF is also proportional to the number of turns. So you can take here induced EMF. Look here, this statement is there. M is directly proportional to mutual inductance is directly proportional to induced EMF in the secondary coil. Then induced EMF in the secondary coil also equal to K phi 1, because another term is there, induced EMF in the secondary is also directly proportional to flux in the primary. So you can take E21 equal to K phi 1. Then but induced EMF is also proportional to the number of turns. So you can take E21 is directly proportional to N2 as well as it is also directly proportional to K phi 1. So, but we know that here phi 1 is directly proportional to N1. So instead of phi 1, we use here N1. So you can take here induced EMF in the secondary is directly proportional to number of turns of primary as well as secondary and coefficient of coupling. Okay, look the formula, this formula is there. Thereafter, another formula is there. Self-inductance of the coil is also directly proportional to square of number of turns. Taking square root of both terms, so N is directly proportional to square root of L. So N1, N2 is directly proportional to L square root of L1, L2. If we substitute these values, instead of N1, N2, we use here L1, L2. So E21 is directly proportional to K square root of L1, L2. And instead of E21, we use M. Then we get here, look here, replacing E21. Here E21 value is replaced by M, because M is directly proportional to L2. And N1, N2 is replaced by L1, L2. Then we get here N1, N2 is replaced with L1, L2. Then E21 is directly proportional to K N1, N2. So you can take, we get M equal to K L1, L2. Means mutual inductance is depends upon the coupling factor K as well as self-inductance of square root of self-inductance of primary and secondary coil. Then different cases are there. If K equal to coupling factor is 1, K is 1, then mutual inductance equal to square root of L1, L2. The two coils are perfectly coupled. When in case of transformer, one coil is coupled over the other, wind over the other. Okay, then they are perfectly coupled. Suppose we consider, means for transformer K almost equal to 1. So K is greater than 0.5. Then two coils are tightly coupled, not perfectly coupled. If K is less than 0.5, two coils are loosely coupled. But suppose we consider self-inductance of first coil and second coil are equal, then you can take M equal to square root of L1, L2 as L into L or L square or L. Mean mutual inductance is exactly equal to self-inductance. Self-inductance L coupled to itself with mutual inductance. Then factors affecting mutual inductance. Theoretically, coupling between two coils never perfect. But if two coils are wound on the same iron core, I am considering this in transformer case, two coils are wound on the same iron core, then K equal to 1 is considered. Not exactly, but it is considered. For two air cores, coils of two coils on separate iron core K is depends on the distance between two coils and angle of axis of the coils. Mean two air core coils or two coils on separate iron cores K is depends upon on which way how much distance between the coils. More the distance, less the coupling. As well as if they are parallel, then coupling is strong. If they are perpendicular, coupling is less. Then how much angle between them? Okay. Then when the coils are parallel, K is maximum, and for perpendicular it is minimum. Same factor is I am stating. To reduce the interaction between the coils, they should be kept perpendicular to or as apart as possible. Means to reduce the interaction, this coil should be kept apart from each other and perpendicular to each other. For radio frequency or intermediate frequency transformer, the K is between 0.001 0.05. This is the value given. Okay. Now, large mutual inductance. The large value of M is desirable for transformer, but a large value of M is not desirable, means greater the M, more the efficiency of the transformer. But large value of M not desirable for home appliances such as clothes dryer. A dangerous EMF can be induced on the metal case of the dryer, and if the M between the case and heating coil is large, then to reduce M, heating coils are counterwound so that their magnetic field cancel one another. Means in mutual inductance is desirable for transformers, but it is not desirable, or it is dangerous for the clothes dryer. So how we can reduce it? To reduce the M, heating coils are counterwound so that their magnetic field cancel one another and reduces M. Okay. Then what is the application of mutual induction? This mutual induction used in the transformers. You know the roadside, so many big transformers of MSEB. Sometime power is cut off. Then you said that your areas are transformer is failure, and then it takes several hours to come the light. Then, and as well as in your home appliances, so many transformers are there, but you are not known to. Suppose your mobile charger. In mobile charger, that means here, first we are looking forward a transformer. What is a transformer? It is a device which converts given input AC voltage into any desirable form, and it works on the principle of mutual inductance. Means given input voltage is AC, we can convert it into AC again, but any desirable form. Then look the things. MSAB supplies 230 volt AC to you. In all whole, 230 volt AC, two wires are coming from the MSAB. From your meter, they are coming in your home. And all the appliances in your home, mini AC are there, fridge, different tube lights, fans, and so many TV, and all the appliances are connected in parallel combination at your homes. Then each appliances, it is not necessary each appliance required 230 AC. Some appliances work on 230 AC, so they are directly connected to the wire. Means suppose we consider your fan, it is directly connected to you, but some appliances are there. Means your bulbs in your home, different wattage bulbs or other appliances are there. They not needs AC voltage, they needs a DC voltage. Then how we can convert it? I mean, we use the transformers there. Suppose you are consider your mobile battery or mobile charger. To charge the mobile battery, 5 volt a DC should be required normally. Then 5 volt DC should be required. And you know that you have a 230 volt AC. Then what we have to do? Then we take a charger. In that charger there is a transformer. Then what is the function of that transformer? This input AC 230 is stepped down or decrease to 5 volt AC. Means there is a decrease of the voltage, and thereafter other circuits are there. In next chapters we discuss more detail. And there is a rectifier is there. This rectifier converts this 5 volt AC into DC volt. So ripple factor is there. To remove that ripple factor, we use a filter circuit, and thereafter Zener diode regulate the voltage. Then these topics are comes in the next chapters. But look the thing, mean from 230 volt AC, this voltage is stepped down to 5 volt AC, and thereafter it converts into DC volt. Okay, but sometimes the situation is different. Means suppose in older days there are the cathode ray tube is there inside the computers as well as TVs, old TVs, and this tube required 10,000 volt DC. Then how we can convert it? Then there is a step up of the voltage. Means step down, means 230 volt comes and you have to convert it into 10,000 volt. Then how we can convert it? Then with the help of transformer it is possible. Means given input voltage is directly given to the transformers. Okay, and you said they are the inverters in this case. You are comes across or UPS. Okay, battery eliminators. Then this with the help of these battery eliminators, you can step up the voltage. Means given input AC voltage is converted into any desirable form. You can increase the voltage as well as you can decrease the voltage. So when you want to increase the voltage, it is called as a step up transformer. You want to decrease the voltage, it is called as a step down transformer. I mean, there are two types of transformers. Then question arises, how these transformers are work? They are works on the principle of mutual inductance. Then how we can increase the voltage or how we can decrease the voltage? It depends upon the number of turns, given input voltage and current through it. We have to discuss in next topic. Let us see how we can construct it. It consists of two coils, primary coil and secondary coil, kept insulated from each other and wounded on the soft iron core as shown in figure. Actually, it is a schematic diagram, but actually when you see the transformer, here one coil is wounded. It is having a two terminals. So it is the primary coil, and over a primary coil on the same insulating tape is there, and thereafter secondary coil is wounded. Okay, these coils are having different number of turns and different diameters are also. What you want, step up or step down, depends on it. Now, primary and secondary coils are called as the input coil. Means primary coil is called as the input coil. Look here, this is the input coil, and here secondary coil is called as the output coil. When AC voltage is applied to the primary, current through it changes, means it works on the principle of mutual induction. Means what happens, AC voltage is there, then look here, this voltage goes on increasing, means increasing, thereafter decreases, becomes zero, again increases negatively, and again, means in one cycle there are it takes positive peak, negative peak and zero two times. Then what happens, during AC voltage is given, then what happens, voltage during the making of the circuit, meaning increasing the circuit current. As current increases in the primary, magnetic field also increases. Secondary coil comes in the increasing magnetic field of primary, EMF is induced in it. Or in primary coil, current decreases. Look here, current decreases, and as current decreases, magnetic field decreases. Secondary coil comes in the decreasing magnetic field of primary, again EMF is induced. Again same thing happens in the opposite direction also. Okay, means here when AC voltage is applied to the primary, current through it changes sinusoidally or sine curve. I am taking this curve, and causes a changes in magnetic flux through the core. Now, the flux link with the primary as well as secondary, and an EMF is induced in each coil. The flux linked with the coil depends upon the number of turns of the coil. Let us consider phi is the flux link per turn with primary and secondary coil at instant t. Then Np and Npns be the number of turns of primary and secondary coil. Then flux through primary coil is equal to number of turns of the primary into flux for 1 turn. Mean phi p equal to Np phi. Similarly for secondary, flux through secondary phi s equal to Ns into phi. Flux linked with primary as well as secondary. Let Ep and Es are the induced EMF in primary and secondary coil. Ip and Is are the induced current in the primary and secondary coil. Then induced EMF in the primary and secondary coil, say Ep equals to what? Minus d phi p by dt equal to d by dt Np phi equal to Np d phi by dt. Similarly, flux through secondary Es equal to minus d phi s by dt equal to minus d by dt Ns d phi by dt, or minus Ns constant is there, d phi by dt. Then taking ratio. As we take the ratio, then we get here Es upon Ep, means EMF induced in the secondary to the EMF induced in the primary equal to Ns upon Np. So what is your Ns upon Np? The turn ratio. It is called as the turn ratio. Then from here, what is your conclusion? Then induced EMF is directly proportional to the number of turns. Mean greater the number of turns, more the EMF induced. Means suppose we consider in primary less turns are there, in secondary more turns are there. Then what happens there? In secondary more EMF is induced. Means voltage goes on increasing. Means there is a step up of the transformer. Step up. But other way is there. Suppose in primary number of turns are less, and secondary number of turns are, primary number of turns are more and secondary number of turns are less. Then what happens there? Then less EMF is induced, and there is a step down transformer, we can say, I'll discuss later. Thereafter, ideal transformer. Actually, ideal transformers not exist, means no power loss is there. Means total energy supplied by the total energy or input power equal to output power. Then we say that it is the ideal transformer. But ideal transformer not exists. In roadside transformers, they shows 98 or 99% efficiency, but not 100% efficient are there. Okay, but still we considered a concept is there. For ideal transformer, input power equal to output power. Then we know that power is a product of voltage and current. So input power means input voltage add induced EMF in primary into induced current in primary, Ep Ip equal to, similarly for secondary, Es Is. So taking ratio, Es Ep equal to Ip Is. So what is your thing? Induced EMF is inversely proportional to current. So you can take here Es upon Ep equal to Ns upon Np and Ip upon Is. Then what is your conclusions? Then in step up transformer, number of turns of the secondary are more, number of turns of the primary are step up. I am detailing here. Then Es is greater than Ep, and Ip is inversely proportional to the number of turns. So greater the number of turns, more the length means more the resistance, and more the resistance means less the current. Because more resistance means less current. Less the number of turns, less the resistance, more the current. So number of turns is inversely proportional to current, and number of turns is directly proportional to induced EMF. This is the problem. So in step up transformer, as you increase the number of turns in the secondary, EMF is induced, but current is reduced, because number of turns increases, current reduces. Meaning in the secondary, current reduces. Similarly, in step down transformer, a number of turns of the primary are more in favor of secondary. Then in secondary, voltage is less or induced EMF is less, and as the induced EMF is less and number of turns are less, then current is more. Means they are assist each other, number of turns and induced EMF, but current opposite, mean in opposite Mean both are increases, current decreases. Okay. Thereafter, this is the principle of the step up and step down transformers. I think this is all about chapter as per a revised syllabus or deleted syllabus. Our chapter is completed. In next lecture, we discuss about MCQs as well as numericals. Today it's enough. Have a good day and enjoy your vacation.